Hi guys, on this movie timelines, we're talking about my favorite little fanged furballs, the Critters. It's only 4 movies, so it's bound to have a really tight continuity, right? Yeah, think again. The first Critters film came out in 1986 and kicks off in deep space on a prison asteroid in Sector 17, where they conveniently speak English. And we first meet two faceless bounty hunters who are assigned to track things called Krites, 8 of which have escaped. Ugg here takes the face of Johnny Steele, an 80s rocker, and we're firmly in the 80s here with the clothing styles and music. On Earth, we meet little Brad and his family, plus Charlie, the town drunk, and little Billy Zane. The Krites land on Earth and promptly eat the deputy and then attacks Brad's families, revealing themselves and shooting their poisonous quills. Ugg's partner, Lee... Oh, I get it. Lee here takes on the face of the deputy and they go hunting, but they're too late to save Billy Zane, but Brad kills the guy with the firecracker. 1 down, 7 to go. Lee goes with face number 2, the local priest, and D. Wallace Stone takes down Krite number 2 with a shotgun. We're on a pattern of 1 Krite dying per face that Lee picks, and he goes for face number 3 and takes Charlie's, and that means that a Krite has to go, and Brad crushes one with a ceiling fan. We meet one of the Krites has gotten much bigger than the others and then watches it eats chickens and grows even bigger. D. Wallace breaks the face Krite ratio by blasting number 4, and then Ugg takes out number 5 in a toilet, because this is Critters, not Ghoulies. The big one steals Brad's sister and then takes her back to the ship because, I don't know. I don't want to know what he was going to do with her, because they don't eat her. Brad saves her, and then the big guy plus the remaining 2 Krites try to take off, but a well-thrown Molotov cocktail blows them up, meaning that the intergalactic bounty hunters literally managed to kill only 1 Krite. They give Brad a communicator, and then they take off with Charlie in tow. All the Krites are dead, but there's some leftover eggs in the barn, ready to go for a sequel. And of course there was a sequel, or else I wouldn't be doing this video. And 2 years later, in 1988, we get Critters 2, the main course. We kick off in space again and learn that Charlie went with Ugg and Lee, and that Ugg likes Johnny Steele enough to keep his face. We then learn that the Brown family moved away and Brad is coming back to visit his grandma, and looks like he aged 5 or 6 years, but this guy tells us that no one lived at the Brown house for 2 years, giving us at least a 2-year gap between the first one. Lynn Shay and the sheriff are back, but the sheriff's been recast, and Eddie Deason! How did I get through so many timelines and this is my first Deason sighting? Anyway, the eggs finally hatch and newborn Krites eat a dog and this guy, and then they're more part of an Easter egg hunt, and then they eat the Easter bunny. The bounty hunters land and Lee takes the face of a Playboy model, complete with staple. Shortly after, the full-grown Krites are revealed and Brad uses the communicator to call the bounty hunters, and he reunites with Charlie. Things go crazy and lots of Krites and bounty hunter mayhem ensues, and we soon learn that all the Krites can group together into a big ball. Then Lee becomes Eddie Deason and all is right in the world. But it doesn't last long since Charlie holds up the Playboy again to stop Lee from changing it to Freddy Krueger and then gets eaten. This causes Ugg a lot of sadness and he chooses to go back to a blank face. The town tries to amass the Critters in one place to blow them all up, and they're led by a huge one that actually turns out to be Ugg in disguise. All the Krites form into a giant super ball and roll into the townspeople and eat them, but Charlie crashes the ship into them and destroys them all. Ugg takes Charlie's face, but it turns out that Charlie parachuted out anyway. And then Ugg takes off, leaving Charlie behind for some reason, and Charlie becomes the new town sheriff. It was a 3-year gap until we got Critters 3 in 1991. We kick off with a breakdown in the introduction of Leonardo DiCaprio in the film in which he wrestles furry creatures that he didn't get an Oscar for. Charlie shows up looking for Krites and immediately gives us flashbacks to the first 2 movies. He states that it happened in 1984, giving us a date for the first film, which would set the second film in 1986, but we'll discuss that again in a minute. Pretty soon, we're in a big city, and the Krites have hitched a ride with this family are now in an apartment building. Mayhem kicks off, and then this old guy pulls out some old papers to confirm the dates of the original film as 1986, and says 2 years later in 1988, giving the film release dates as the years that they took place, so most likely Charlie got the date wrong. He just got them wrong. It's not like he looks like he's obsessed with figuring out the timelines like some sort of loser. One of the Krites gets hit with bleach, and this gives it the distinctive stripe on its fur, which is not really helping the Gremlins comparisons. There's a bunch of wacky segments with the Critters making a mess and farting, because the makers of this one had their fingers on the pulse of comedy. The Krites get a new ability here, as one of them screams a high-pitched noise calling the others, and they refer to him as Blackie, so it looks like they have names for each other as well. Charlie finally shows up and blows some up. Leo clubs pseudo-stripe, but doesn't manage to seal the deal, and it comes down to Charlie, who jumps off the roof with it. He's okay though, and Leo finds love. Everyone gets a happy ending, and during the credits, Charlie finds Krite eggs in the basement, and Ugg finally makes an appearance and he's rocking the Johnny Steele look again. He tells Charlie that the 2 eggs are the last remaining Krites in existence and must be preserved, and we get a big to be continued. And since it was filmed back-to-back with Part 3, we get Critters Part 4 just 1 year later, in 1992. The opening picks up right where the last one left off and gives us the official date as 1992, so Part 3 takes place in 92. Charlie accidentally gets shot into space, and the movie tells us it is 2045, but then we see this kid making a calendar, and he's writing in the year 2342. We meet this plucky space crew, which includes a young Angela Bassett and Charles Lee Ray. We see Ugg again, and he introduces himself as Counselor Tetra, but he still has Johnny Steele's face. The jerky captain opens up the capsule and wakes up Charlie, and then soon finds out that the 2 Krite eggs have hatched and gets 8. Charlie shoots one of the baby's hair off, and then they say that Charlie's license expires 53 years ago, confirming the 2045 date. Although the kid character has never been on Earth, and since he's around 20, that means that humans develop space travel and space programs to the level of being so commonplace that some people have never been on Earth within 30 years. Unless the kid just happens to be the first person born in space or something. I don't know, we're about halfway between when the film was made and when it's set, and we're nowhere near where I guess that they thought that we would be. Anyway, Charlie manages to shoot one of the 2 Krites, and later we discover the bald one using science equipment to generate more Krites just as Tetra arrives. All is not right with Ugg though, as he shoots Brad Dourif trying to collect the Krites, but the critters get the upper hand. Not Leonardo kills the bald Krite, and then Charlie shoots Ugg in the head. Remember when the Critters movies were fun? They blow up the ships with all the Krites on it, and Angela, Not Leo, and Charlie head back to Earth. So there you have it, it's only 4 movies, and although it's somewhat of a tight continuity, there's some date discrepancies in there. Does the first one take place in 84 or 86? Does the 4th one take place in 2045 or 2342? I guess we'll never know, or maybe it's just up to us to decide. That's up to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Feel free to share this one, like it, subscribe, comment on it, let me know what other videos that you would like to see. And as always, I'd like to thank my patrons over here. They are on patreon.com supporting me, and you can too as well by going to patreon.com/movietimelines. You can for anywhere from $1 a month to $10 a month, whatever you'd like to support me, and you get special videos and different things there as well too. So we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.